Saturday edition of Box Seat. I'm Adam McGrath and joined by Mark Olmos for the first time. Mark, welcome to Perth Racing and also to Box Seat.
Thank you, Adam. Pleasure to be here.
Great to have you involved. A very interesting card, 10 races to take a look at, and the hot weather's going to continue. But the positive is, although it does look warm, it is cooling off a little bit. The rail is out 10 metres. With 10 races on the program, we need to get straight into it. We'll start with number one. It is the Perak Turf Club Trophy over the 1,200 metres for 2-year-olds, and only 3 runners with race experience, Mark.
Yeah, Adam, look, it's a little bit of a light on field with, like you said, race experience, but we've got a couple here that we've earmarked. We'll first have a look at Kimbo's Girl, who ran a nice second, ran away with Dainty Test the other week. They straighted the rest of the field, so we'll throw to a replay of that first up.
Comes out after the leader, Kimbo's Girl. Kimbo's Girl led a half a length. Dainty Test popped the question though, closing in on it. They're 3 in front of Rich Red. A race in 2 with 150 to go. Dainty Test grabbed the lead for Pike, fighting back. Kimbo's Girl though won't give in for Nucky. Dainty Test hands and heels. She's just in front. Dainty Test will prevail.
Yeah, it was a strong performance there by the filly, wasn't it, on debut? We know that Simon Miller has these early runners. We've seen it all throughout, and then even at the Magic Millions with his runners as well. And just didn't give up at all, which was a big positive. I've seen on some markets it's already opened up a very short favourite. Barrier 4, the extra 100 metres should suit as well. And you know this horse can go straight to the front.
Yeah, look, Adam, looks very hard to beat. You know, the only real danger is the one, Wrinkly, from the Neville Parnham yard with Brad Parnham on board. Ran a nice second the other. Yeah, well, beaten 2 lengths behind Guest Express, but look, could challenge the favourite here. Yeah,
was beaten by Guess Express, another one from the Miller stable, as you mentioned. What I liked with this run was straight from the 400 to the 1,000, so I think the improvement will be massive. I don't like backing horses who have only had one 400-metre trial, so has now stretched out over the distance, has the fitness behind it, was blocked on that occasion as well. So with some clear running, just think this horse will attack the line strongly, and I'm with you. I think it's the biggest danger. And taking a look at selections, I'm actually going to tip that way. I'm going number 1, Wrinkly, from number 6, Kimbo's Girl, 3, Clever Dick, and 5, Rayama.
Yeah, look, you're a brave man, Adam. But I've gone with the favourite, Kimbo's Girl, on top of the 1, Wrinkly, and Clever Dick for 3rd. To be honest, I didn't really want to tip for a 4th here, but yeah.
Race number 2 at Ascot is the Nesco handicap over the 2,400 metres. 9 runners to take a look at, and most of these have been going head-to-head across the journey.
Yeah, and the one that seems to have the wood on them all is the Gelding Dark Alert. Look, he's won his last 3 starts and looks really hard to beat. He just jumps out of the page at you. So we'll have a look at that replay now.
Comes away from the fence. Cougar Express battles away. Fulgur flat to the floorboards, followed by Beatorio and Uncle George at the 200. Cougar Express grabbed the lead. Pike goes to work on Dark Alert though. Coming back, Dark Alert, Cougar Express. Further back, Beatorio. Dark Alert, Cougar Express in a tooth and nail struggle. Dark Alert kicked on the rails. Dark Alert's
really strong performance again by Dark Alert on that occasion. He's now won 3 in a row, one over the 2,200, dropped back to the 18 and then back up to the 2,100 metres. Clint Johnson Porter will take the ride here, so it actually makes Cougar Express better in the weights for that narrow victory last up. My question, possibly the 2,400 metres. I think Cougar Express is a horse that we know is proven over the distance, but very hard to go past the form that Dark Alert's in.
Absolutely. If it gets a similar sort of ride it got last start from Pike, he'll be mighty hard to beat. There's also a couple that'll be close behind it, I think, in Cougar Express and Keysbrook. Keysbrook won really well last start, and I think 2,400 will only suit it this start in. Cougar Express it's got form lines behind Dark Alert, Galaxy Prince and Venga Bus at its most recent start. It'll be there and thereabouts as well.
Yeah, completely agree with you. Keysbrook obviously breaking a 600-day drought at last start. A brilliant ride by Aaron Mitchell. Peter Nucky, he normally rides his galloper hopping on, is a very good sign as well. And you mentioned, as I said off the top as well, Cougar Express has won over that 2,400 metres before, is a true stayer. Last start was a good performance over the 1,600 metres with the 51 kilos, but that extra 800 is going to be ideal. Let's take a look at the selections. I'm going with number 2, Dark Alert, from 3, Cougar Express, 6, Keysbrook, and 9, Uncle George.
Yeah, Adam, I've gone pretty similar. I've got the 2 Dark Alert on top, 6 Keysbrook in for 2nd, the 9 Uncle George for 3rd, and Cougar Express in for the 4th position.
Race number 3 at Ascot is the Penang Turf Club Trophy over the 1,200 metres. Some interesting form lines to analyse here. We've got the Ascot form of a Saturday from a Clobberetta, the midweek form with She Rules All, some Bunbury form with Distant Memory and Discord Witch as well. So makes it an intriguing race to put them all together and analyse and try to find the winner.
It really does, Adam. And look, She Rules All is the one that stands out for me. She looks very smart, particularly on this time in this preparation. She looks really, really hard to go past here. We'll have a look at that replay now.
About Fortune Favours. She Rules All led them for home from Big Caroline, and now Bourbon Dynasty called upon with 200 left to go. She's putting in the big strides, but She Rules All still had a held a handy break. Now Bourbon Dynasty, he has to draw the whip. She Rules All in front. Bourbon Dynasty grinding, won't get there. She Rules All beat Bourbon.
Yeah, it's a different horse at the moment, this preparation. I think what you mentioned there, she's always had a little bit of class, this 4-year-old mare by Universal Ruler, but now has really stepped up. And the biggest sign for me, and all I have circled on her page, is the 58.5 kilos that she carried to victory last start. These Universal Rulers, normally once they get over 55 kilos, they really start to struggle. We've seen that with Faux Shizzle, Furious Dame, all of those runners. But for her to carry that 58.5, beat a good field in Bourbon Dynasty, which backed that up again at Pinjarra on Sunday, I give big ticks carrying the 54.5 kilos.
Yeah, absolutely with you there. Darren McAuliffe on fire as well, Adam. We'll also have a quick look at Distant Memory and Discord Watch. Both coming off last start wins at Bunbury. Both quite impressive, you know, even for Bunbury form, not too bad. And even Distant Memory, 2 runs back behind Volkov, 3 runs back behind Vengerbus. Going well enough. As is Discord Watch, they'll be there and thereabouts.
Yeah, look, I really like Distant Memory in this race. So the 56.5 kilos, carried the 56 at Bunbury last start, beat Furious Dame by a length on that occasion. Horses like Malibu Style in that race, Mad Brad as well. So although, as I said, going out on a Saturday with that same weight, I think Distant Memory is possibly the horse to beat, a winner here at the track 4 starts ago as well. Has had the 5 starts here for only that 1 victory, which is a small concern. And Discord, which as you mentioned for Peter and Matt Giadresco, Jason Whiting tried the last 4 runs, 2 victories, 2 seconds, good form lines with Spinder Wheels. Also Nika Teresa finishing just behind it. Will need a step up, but drawn nicely in barrier 1. Taking a look at the selections, I'm going to go with number 1, Distant Memory, from 2, She Rules All, number 5, Clobberetta, and 3, Discord Witch.
I've left the one out, Adam, being brave. I've gone She Rules All on top for me. Discord Witch, you just can't leave these horses form out. I've gone the 6 Classy Cat in for 3rd and 5 Clobberetta in for 4th.
Race number 4 at Ascot. It is over the 1,600 metres, and we see a few horses here that'll be hoping to get a nice victory on a Saturday. A lot of these horses have been racing midweek, and one that has been racing well, O'Reilly's Crumpet, Adam Durant has a pretty good opinion of.
Yeah, look, her 2 starts in this time and have been really good. Last start, a little bit disappointing when a beaten favourite at even money, beaten 3.5 lengths by Confusing, but look, this gelding will be there. He'll be there on the weekend for sure. Now, we're going to have a look at the replay of Tom Almighty, the top weight here. Brad Parnham to ride for Daniel Morton for Mount Hallowell. Let's take a look at that replay.
He's being trailed by Esprit Hero, and then came Proxy coming to the middle. Just Harley, the leader, tackled by Fabulistic and Counter Cat. Over near the inside is Tom Almighty. It's Counter Cat nearing the 100, just in front of Fabulistic. Just Harley and Tom Almighty. Counter Cat kept going though, McGruddy, and he'll get the double. Counter Cat too good. Won it from...
Strong performance there by Tom Almighty, carrying the 58 kilos on the inside position throughout the run. Had every chance, has to be said, but Counter Cat was too good. Steps up to the 59 kilos, but the big positive here, the distance, has had 4 runs over the 1,600 metres, finished 1st, 2nd and 3rd across them as well. So we know that this horse does enjoy the step up. One that comes from that race as well that I was really impressed with, especially the closing 200 metres, was Slick Talker, David Harrison, Kate Winton. The bar plates are on the front, which concerns me just a little bit, but attacked the line strongly, only lost by 2.5 lengths, and will enjoy that step up in distance as well. It just depends on how far back the horse gets.
Absolutely. Looks like from barrier 1, he'll get a really nice, soft, cushy run in behind them. Kate Winton with 3 kilo claim will surely put him in the right position from there.
Another runner to take a look at, O'Reilly's Crumpet, as we mentioned off the top, racing really well. Back-to-back seconds, one at Pinjarra, was beaten excellently by a length, and then last start beaten Confusing by 3 lengths. Couple of punters, as mentioned, were a bit hurt, $2 favourite, but Confusing, we know, a Saturday horse as well, racing on speed on that occasion, and that's where you wanted to be. So I think they'll be hoping with a 2 kilo claim, they can certainly make a nice end. Barrier 4, everything looks very good there for the Adam Durant stable.
Absolutely. It's you got to stick solid here. I think you'll get a bit better odds about this one here too. So stick solid there, punters.
Let's take a look at selections in, and I am sticking solid. Number 4, O'Reilly's Crumpet on top. From 3, Slick Talker. 1, Tom Almighty, and 2, Discoville.
Yeah, I've got O'Reilly's Crumpet on top as well, Adam. I've got 4 on top. From the 1, Tom Almighty. Yeah, he'll be thereabouts again. 5, Proxy, and 6, Secondment.
Race number 5 at Ascot, Australia. Race number 9 for our Singapore viewers, and it is the Singapore Turf Club Trophy over the 1,200 metres. And Mark, there was one that just really caught the eye last start.
Yeah, and definitely a black booker from that last start, even though she won. But yeah, Fermentation, look, she's really hard to go past. Gets everything right this time in as well. Got, you know, Fred Kersley training and William Pike on board. Pretty hard to go past. One interesting thing is she's by Pentire. You'd think she'd get a trip, but she sticks at the 1,200 metres here.
Completely agree. I was a little bit surprised by that myself. We'll take a look at the run now of that last start victory and then take a look at the other form as well.
Ball from Grinding Hard, Tycoon Legend in the middle, followed by Shuriken Star, Fermentation, Puro Dioro, then Bush Track. Canny Time had reached the lead with Grinding Hard in pursuit. It's Canny Time, the leader. Look at Fermentation though. Fermentation charging down the outside, goes to Canny Time, hits the lead. Fermentation beat Canny.
Well, as you mentioned in that preview there, and Fred mentioned actually on course, he thought the 1,200 metres was going to be too short. Attacked the line strongly on that occasion, and they stay at 12 now. I would have thought a step up to the 14 or the 16 would have been ideal. No doubt though, from barrier 2, William Pike on board, this horse will be handy and can certainly play a part, but I think it can be risked in the run.
Yeah, look, you're probably right, Adam, but yeah, I'm not willing to take on those two geniuses.
One that I am going to, and I'm trying to get a little bit of value, I've seen $10 plus already going through, is number 3, Bazinho, for Chris Gangemi, Jared Noski to ride. The one thing I like with this gelding, can race in a forward position. You look at the form lines behind the Cobbler, which of course finished second in the Magic Millions. George and Ernie, Big Red Costa as well. These are all Guineas form lines as well, leading in. Comes up first up fresh. The recent trial was good. Did absolutely nothing until led out late and attacked the line there. Barrier 5. I think a really nice each way bet in the race.
Absolutely agree, yes.
And the other one, I think you have in your tips as well, Count Carla, a very good performance on debut.
Yeah, really good. Willing to have a look at it again and have it in the numbers. I think it'll definitely give you a good show for your money.
They'll be trying to sit just behind the speed there with Count Carla, drawn perfectly in barrier 3 as well. Let's take a look at the selections. I'm going to go with number 3, Bazinho at each way odds from 8 Fermentation, 5 Count Carla and 12 Deton.
Yeah, look, I've left Bazinho out, Adam. I've got Fermentation on top of the 8, 13 Foxy Royale, and the 12 Detente I'm going to go with, and 5 Count Carla.